Looks like we are live again. Good to see you folks. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. We are also, for the first time, going live on our YouTube channel. So, again, hopefully the tech curse doesn't get me trying something new, trying to push the comfort zone. But here we are. As always, let me know, #live if you're watching this live, #replay if you're catching this on the replay. I appreciate you so much being a part of this community, trying to provide as much value and give as much truth and honesty to this industry as possible. But I need your help. One thing that I've realized is a lot of the content that's being produced in this industry is all about funneling people to the information that people need you to believe so that you buy their product, their service, their training, whatever it is, right? So it's extremely biased in that whatever they're selling, that's what they're telling you information on. I do not want to go in that direction. So whatever topic that you want me to talk about, I'd love to see it in the comments. Anything that you're unsure of, anything that you've heard, anything you want me to debate, anything that's important to you in your journey, please let me know in the comments. And what we will do is anybody who puts something in the comments and I end up picking that, I will give a one-on-one to, or we'll do something special as far as a free training or a private session, whatever it is, we'll figure out something special. But please, if you can, any topics that you want me to discuss, please put them in the comment section and we'll make it worth your while. I promise you that. So I am going to dive right in. This is a very important topic to me because it's one that has changed my life. If you look around and you gathered all the money that's being made in this industry, if you added it all up and you traced it back to where it's going, you'd realize that most of the money is going back to business owner, not salespeople. There's a lot of people that aren't going to be shocked by hearing this because they look at their bank account and be like, it's not being traced back to me. I promise you that. Right? And it's not just in our industry. Think about the most successful people in the world. Right now, in your head, I want you to list out 4 to 5 billionaires. Just take a moment to do it in your mind. Don't even put it in the comments. In your head, list out 4 to 5 billionaires. One moment. Now, think about it. How many of the people that you just listed weren't business owners? For most people, the answer is likely 0. And this is an important clue. The money gravitates towards the owners. In our industry specifically, the sales trainer and the people who control the pipelines, the jobs. They get paid when someone enters this industry through some generic training. They get paid for the sales training. They get paid for the upsell in training. And they get paid when they connect someone with a job from the business owner. This can be upwards of $30,000 or more for a couple transactions, some generic training, and a connection, a simple introduction. Ironically, that 30K is an important number because ironically, 30K is what some of their salespeople will make in their first year if they're lucky. What they're making from some generic training and an introduction, the people that they're promising 10K a month are making 2 to 4K a month. They're lucky if their first year is a 30K year, not month. Right? And those are the lucky ones. There's a lot of people who are struggling to find a job. There's a lot of people that end up quitting and going back to the 9 to 5 because they never make it here. So we can sit here and complain about how unfair it is, right? We can complain about the vultures, or we can learn to play the game, compete, and win. The vultures aren't going away. The online marketers aren't going away. So we either learn to play the game or we continually lose. Those are our options, right? Most people were sold on the idea of coming here to escape the 9 to 5 rat race. They were sold on the idea of financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. And upon entry, after investing their life savings, if they were lucky, they got one One of three: location freedom. And I say if they were lucky, because if you're outside of the US and you were promised a job from a pipeline, good luck. The majority of the pipelines are US based, looking for US reps. So making less than 5K a month is not going to give you financial freedom. Just not. Right? Working 40 hours a week is not time freedom. It's just not. Right? And having to work US hours only is really not location freedom. But I'll be generous. I'll give them that side. I'll say, okay, you delivered one of three. Cool. So what you've landed in is the remote rat race. It's the digital rat race. I know this because I landed myself in the same spot. The only difference is I did not accept defeat. I learned how to play the game and I won. I did something about it and I escaped. I did it on my own. And since then, I've taught hundreds of other people how to escape and finally take control over their earnings and their life. And the answer is something that I mentioned earlier. It's ownership. Those with ownership own the opportunities and gain back control. And this is why I developed a strategy called You Inc. After struggling to make, $1,100 a month for 4 months, I realized I was at the bottom of the totem pole. Everybody else was getting paid before me. I was getting the shitty end of the stick. There's just no way around it. So I looked around and I seen that I wasn't the only one. Everyone I seen making great money was a business owner in some form or another. They had ownership. And everyone who was struggling was an employee. That's what I seen. Right? So I realized if it was going to be different, I had to take ownership. That was the clue that I found. And from that day, I started thinking about myself like a business. I am a business. My career is a business. Now, I'm not talking about incorporating. I'm not talking about creating a website or buying business cards or all of those like entrepreneur tasks that people do. I'm talking about implementing business success principles into my life and my career. And I know it sounds weird to some, but let's break it down. Businesses offer products and services in exchange of money. That's by definition. Right? They offer products and services in exchange for money. Salespeople offer a service in exchange for money. Businesses need to market themselves to target audiences. To be able to land a job, salespeople need to market themselves. Businesses need to innovate and develop and improve to stay competitive. Salespeople need to innovate, develop, and improve to stay competitive. The key to longevity in business, consistent growth over time. The key to longevity in sales, consistent growth over time. The more I started diving into this, the more I thought about it, the more I realized there's more similarities than differences. So if I was going to make this work, I needed to find examples. I needed to find people in similar situations who were already implementing these principles and getting results. That way I could model their behavior. And it didn't take long. I stumbled upon freelancers, freelance service providers specifically. And freelancers have known this for years. Think about it. Copywriters, email marketers, Facebook advertisers, designers, developers, even coaches. They understand this. That's why they're in this business. They all have a service. They all sell themselves and their service to their clients. The biggest difference I noticed was that freelancers and service providers had ownership. They had control. They decided what clients to take on and when to take them on. They decided if they wanted to take on multiple clients. They set their rates and what they were going to deliver. They set their terms. They set their expectations with their client. And they were responsible for fulfillment, but only if the client delivered on their end. If I was a Facebook ad specialist, right, and I told this business owner, I can grow your business, I can generate more leads for you, but this is what I need. I need high resolution images. I need to know more about your businesses. I need a budget. I need X, Y, and Z. If the business owner doesn't supply those, I can't do my job. So there's a lot of similarities there, and there's a lot of clues that we can draw off of. Everyone knows that sales is the lifeblood of a business. No sales, no business. Plain and simple. So it's pretty easy to argue that generating clients and revenue for a business is an important and valuable service. Without it, the business fails. So why are we get shortcutted? Why do we get shorted? Why are we treated like employees while everyone else is a valued service provider? Why do we get told take it or leave it, and everybody else gets to set their own terms? The simple answer is because we allow it, because we don't take ownership. We give up control for comfort. We give up opportunity for consistency. When I came into this industry, 15 to 20% was the standard commission for a closer. And I'm talking about inbound closer. I show up, there's leads on my calendar. That's it. That's my job. 15 to 20%. Now I see companies offering 10% for full stack closers, meaning you go find the prospect, you take them through the whole buying journey, you get them to commit and pay, and you collect 10%. It makes no sense unless you look at what's happening behind the scenes, unless you understand the rules of the game. And I've created You Inc. for that exact purpose. When I started treating my career like a business, everything changed. I took ownership. I realized that my success is my responsibility and mine alone. No one else was going to look out for me. The more people I depend on for that success, the more money gets filtered from me to them. Just makes sense. The more control and opportunity that I give up. If I don't take ownership, someone else will. Now, it's a simple switch, but most people won't make it because it's uncomfortable. And most people are afraid of discomfort, and so they avoid it. So they will continue to trade opportunity for comfort. They will continue to lower the standard and allow more people to get involved and take more from them. But for those willing to make the change, like most things, it starts in the mind. Right? Ownership starts with a decision. You cannot hold responsibility and also continue blame and justify and victimize and complain. You have to choose a side. You can't have both. You can't own it and blame it. It doesn't work that way, right? So there's a trade. A business owner owns all the failures, all the mistakes, all the shortcomings. In return, they own all the success. For me, that's a very valuable trade-off. Right? So you have to be able and willing to exchange fault for responsibility. You have to stop complaining and decide this is about me. So if I want things to improve, I need to improve me. As an owner, there is nowhere to hide. You need to take full accountability for where you are before you can go anywhere else. An employee can hide. Right? Everybody's been in that job where you're just kind of hiding up and getting through the day. We've all been there. A solution provider has to take full ownership. So that's the mindset. Are you willing to take responsibility for your own success? Now, strategy-wise, it's very simple. There are 4 pillars to a successful service provider, solution provider, business owner. Right? You need to be able to develop in these 4 areas. If you don't, you'll find yourself in that employee subset. So, leadership, marketing, sales, and fulfillment. Those 4 areas equal a healthy business, successful business. Right? Most people with an employee mindset think their job is to sell and only to sell. But that's only one aspect. What you do for your client, that's fulfillment. That's not even sales for your business. That's sales for their business. That's helping someone else with their vision and their growth and their development and their retirement. That's not your business. That's one aspect. Now, it's an important aspect, no doubt. You are responsible for delivering your service. You are responsible for making sure your client is satisfied. But what about the other 3 aspects? That is where people are failing miserably, horribly, and it's costing them more than they ever understand. So here's the deal. If you want to give yourself the best chance at success, you need to make the switch immediately. From here on out, you are a sales agency. You just happen to be a one-person sales agency. You have one person for hire. This is the idea of You Inc. You are the leader, the CEO. You are the marketing team, the CMO. You are the sales team, and then you are fulfillment. If you want to take control of your own success, you have to be able and willing to develop in those 4 areas. Plain and simple. Your success depends on your ability to develop and carry out each of these roles effectively. So I want to start with the CEO. You are the CEO. And for anybody that doesn't know what that means, Chief Executive Officer. Right? It's the highest ranking executive in a company. Primary responsibilities, making major decisions, and managing the overall operations and resources of a company. CEOs are the ones responsible for leading a company into the future. They are responsible for all success and all failures. It all comes back to them. Now, a company's success is capped at the leader's ability. That's it. This principle is called the law of the lid. John C. Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, great book. A company will not maintain success above the level of its leadership capability. It will not be able to attract people that have a higher lid than the leader. So this determines the potential of a company is in the leadership. Now, most people never develop as a leader, so they have a low lid. And when you have a low lid, you're inviting someone else to lead you. As you invite more people to lead you, you become a follower. You trade some of that opportunity and potential, and you give up control. A lot of you have given up control over your own destiny. And so other people are profiting off you. Now, the areas of improvement for a CEO, right, is your decision-making, your problem-solving, your resourcefulness, and your ability to adapt and be agile. As a leader, you need to guide the overall operations of your business. The success of your business will depend on the quality of your decision-making, and really the success of your life. The quality of your life is dependent on your decision-making. There's not an area of your life that if you started making better decisions wouldn't improve. Your success depends on your ability and willingness to solve problems swiftly. Also, how you allocate your resources. We talk a lot about resources in UCM. What are the resources we're talking about? Your time, your energy, obviously your money, right? How do you use those to benefit the company? Where do you put your energy and your time? That will dictate your level of success. It also comes down to your ability to adapt quickly to the changes of the market. Business, I always say, entrepreneurship should come with a fire hat. A lot of the times you're solving problems. How you thought it was going to work out is not how it's working out. Most people just put their hands up and settle out of fear, right? Great leaders cannot be led by those emotions. A leader is responsible for making sure that the decisions and actions of a business are in total alignment with the vision, mission, and core values of the company, to make sure that temptations do not steer the business off course. Great leaders are going to face challenges head on and ask great questions. Questions like, what could I have done differently? How can I make the most of this situation? How can I improve for the future? How can I increase my value to the marketplace? Employees don't ask these questions. Employees ask, whose fault was it? No, who can I blame? What do I need to wait for? How can I settle? Right? If you want to guarantee your success, you need to develop yourself as a leader, plain and simple. Right? So what decisions are you making? How are you using your resources? Right? How can you solve problems quickly and prevent problems from happening in the future? And how can you be more agile and lean in the marketplace? Next up, marketing. Marketing is a weird one for a lot of people. Right? Another area that hides from the employee mindset. It's not something you're going to think about because it's not your job, right? As an employee, you're so focused on, well, that's not my job, that's not my job. As a business owner, as a CEO, it's all your job. You're responsible for it all. Right? And I understand why we don't focus on marketing, because you're told, develop the sales skills and nothing else matters. Yet, if no one knows you exist, if no one knows about your skills, where is the opportunity coming from? A lot of people go through the same training. A lot of people have similar sales skills. Some people are making nothing. Other people are making 30K a month. So there's got to be another factor there. It can't just be about sales skills. And most of you have already understood this. You've already faced this, that maybe some of the sales trainers are misleading you to think all you need is skill. You need opportunity. You need a place to use that skill. Most tell you that sales skill is the only thing that matters because, well, they don't know how to teach anything else. And it's not in their program. So they don't benefit from telling you that there's other aspects. They want you to believe that your income is directly tied to your skill and nothing else. And it's just not the truth. Right? I speak to hundreds of their students after they go through their programs. And by far, the number one problem I hear, I have the skill, but I'm struggling to find the opportunity. Plain and simple. It's inarguable. You can't argue with people's experience. Right? My own journey, I was told sales skills are all that matters. Yet, without improving my skill, I went from $1,100 a month to $40K a month. No more training, right? But somehow I almost 40x my income. How did I do that? I landed myself in a great position. Plain and simple. I focused on marketing myself. Right? To land a good position, you need to understand positioning. Too many great salespeople are horrible marketers, and it's costing them hugely. Think about it in the business world. There's a lot of great coaches out there, right, that have an amazing program, but no one knows about it, so they struggle. Marketing is important. So as your own personal marketing team, you are responsible for increasing the visibility of your brand, your personal brand. And if you're like, oh, I don't have a personal brand, yes, you do. You start with a personal brand. Whether or not you choose to focus on it, that's up to you. But you have a personal brand right now. It could be inconsistent. It could be invisible, but you have the brand. Don't fool yourself. Right? So increasing visibility of your brand and increasing the perceived value to the marketplace. That is the marketing team, right? Increase visibility and increase value. If you do those things, you exponentially increase opportunity. Plain and simple. You make skills now a multiplier instead of the only thing that you have to depend on. If you look at the top, many people are saying this. This is not coming from me. Attention is the new currency. If you don't have it, you are going to be stuck relying on skill alone and hoping that you get discovered. And if you don't believe that attention is important, tell me why the Kardashians have multiple billionaires, not millionaires, multiple billionaires in one family. Are you going to tell me that every dollar they made came from them being the most skilled family in human history? Is that what you're trying to say? That it was just pure skill that got them to where they are? No. Or did it come from them mastering attention, leveraging that attention for opportunity? Every day, you should be committed to increasing your visibility in the marketplace and increasing your perceived value to the marketplace. Expanding your network, simply getting the right eyeballs on your brand and making sure they know the things that you want them to know about you. You want to build your own pipeline and develop your own audience. Those that control the audience have all the control. They are the ones that get to make the decision. Right? So you can either tap into someone else's audience or pipeline, right, and hope that they pick your name out of the hat, or you can start to develop your own. And as you develop your own, you maintain 100% of the control. Now, you can do this by implementing basic principles of organic marketing. This is, again, nothing new. All of these principles are not something I came up with. I modeled them from the most successful people that I know in business. So while most people are thinking transactionally, job hunting, right? Who has the job? Where's the job? I need a job, right? You need to start thinking about relationships, because the relationships you build in this industry will last much longer and be much more valuable than any one job that you get. I promise you that. There's no doubt that the quality of your life is in direct relation to the quality of your relationships, not just in this industry, in life in general. So why would you not allocate a certain amount of resources to developing those relationships? Unless you just want to rely on skill. right? Job posts and pipelines. They should be one aspect of your audience, and a small one at that. Looking at the stats and knowing that 70 to 80% of the top opportunities will never make it to a post or never land in a pipeline. 70 to 80%. You need to develop a strategy to tap in to that percentage, or you're left fighting over the bottom 20% like everyone else. It's so important. There should not be a day goes by that you are not focused on marketing, developing your brand, increasing your visibility, increasing your marketplace value. Plain and simple. Next up, sales team. The sales team is responsible for developing trust and moving people along the pipeline further. So once you have their attention, what do you do with it? How do you move those into the right conversations? So in UCM, we break this down into two areas: having more conversations and then getting on calls. One of the principles when I started out was good things happen when I get on the phone, right? How can I move to have conversations in regard to what I can do for this business? It's that simple. Your job as a sales team is to identify opportunities to increase the revenue of your business. To be successful, you need to be clear about the qualification process. Most people don't understand how to connect their audience to an increase in revenue in their own business. For example, if you want to make 10K per month, a business owner making 20K a month is a disqualified prospect. They are not the person you should be selling. You cannot work with them and hit your goals. You can help them hit their goals, but you will not hit your goals. So you need to be able to guide a potential client through a process to be able to sign them as your client. This is business 101, right? So this process, like marketing, is ongoing. One of the biggest mistakes that I see is when salespeople sign one client, when they get hired, they shut down the rest of their business and only focus on fulfillment. It makes absolutely no sense, and you cannot find an example of a successful business that does that anywhere else, ever. Okay, imagine Adidas in the boardroom, right? Okay, we had a record-setting sales month. Let's stop the marketing, let's stop the sales, and just focus on the product. That CEO will get fired immediately. So why would we do that in our business, right? We got one client and let's shut down the rest of the business. A successful business owner is always focused on the future. They are always growing their audience. They're always increasing their value to the marketplace. They're always looking for new opportunities. They're always making sure that their pipeline is full. That never stops just because they're happy with the client they have, which is fulfillment. A lot of people think what they're doing is sales. What you're doing is fulfillment. This is where you are responsible for your duties of increasing the revenue of your clients. Client satisfaction is important. Retention is important. But so is knowing when to let a client go. And again, no one's talking about this because they don't benefit from you letting their clients go because they want control. They don't want you to know this information. So besides taking the wrong offer, the next biggest mistake that I see in salespeople make, right, is hanging on to the wrong offer too long, taking on the wrong client and then staying with that client too long. When you enter a business, you should enter mutually beneficial terms. You do your job and the business does theirs. If the business is not doing their job and that is limiting you from doing your job, you need to let that client go. Freelancers do this all the time and it's just accepted. And we're meant to feel guilty, like we should just hang on a little bit longer, and we just wait and wait and wait. And we burn 3-4 months and nothing changes. Now, if you're not doing your job, it's the business owner's responsibility to let you go. Clients can fire us. So why would we not hold them to the same standard? This is an agreement that we're getting into. Right? This is also, I'll say, easier said than done if you don't have a pipeline full of opportunities. If your marketing team and sales team is not doing their job, which is you, right, then it makes it much more difficult. If all you're doing is transactionally looking for jobs, you don't want to go back on the job market. right? Because it's defeating. So you hold on, and turn a blind eye to this business is not doing their job, so you can't do your job, right? It becomes a much easier decision on when to let a client go if you have a pipeline full of great opportunities. Right? So that's why it's so important to work all aspects of these business at once. So I know I threw a lot at you here, but in summary, here's what it looks like. Here's the list, right? On the leadership side, starting with extreme ownership, you are the only one responsible for your success. You take the good, the bad, the success, the failures, it's all on you. No more blame, no more justification. You improve your decision-making, right, for the good of the business. You improve your problem-solving ability. You improve your resourcefulness, and you become more agile and adaptable to the marketplace. On the marketing side, very simply, your job is to increase your visibility every single day and increase your perceived value. You want to be able to increase your audience and develop trust in your brand. How many people know you and how many people trust you? Those are the questions that you should always be trying to increase the number to. Sales, developing your own pipeline so you're not reliant on other people's. Because when you gain control, right, all of a sudden there's not more and more people making money off you. If you give up that control, then they are going to take your money. They are going to take, and then what happens, that's where the business owners are lowering their commission because they're paying that commission to the people who are getting you the jobs just for that introduction. So start building your own pipeline. Start creating opportunities for revenue generation. Focus on signing clients and then having other clients and potential clients and leads and prospects in your pipeline at all times. So if something doesn't work out with your current client, you are hours or days away from signing another. Most people take the wrong job, then they stay in the wrong job, and then they don't have a pipeline. That's 6 months right there. There's no chance if you make those 3 decisions that you're going to make 6 figures this year. It's not going to happen. And then you get to the end of the year and you don't know what happened. You made the whole year, you made basically what these trainers and what the pipeline made off you in one transaction. Right? Then fulfillment, making sure that you are happy with your client and that they are happy with you. Working in mutually beneficial relationships. Now, these are the principles of UCM, and these are the principles of U Inc. I can tell you from experience, it's an absolute game changer. This is the answer to raising the standard in our industry and protecting the opportunity that's right in front of us. The more we give up control for comfort, the less money we make, the less opportunities we have. Trace where the money is being made. It's people taking control and ownership over your success, right? They're getting your cut. Take your cut back. Remember that if we don't take ownership, someone else always will. We get what we allow in this industry. If you want more, you need to raise the bar. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any other topics you'd like me to discuss, I'm here for you. Appreciate you. Have a good day.